Good evening. I'm glad to be back again. Tonight's topic, as you chose it, it's dreams. If you remember, last time we spoke about Ayin Hara, and Baruch Hashem, we had a great response. We had great response on the previous lecture that we had here. And I believe, Bezrat Hashem, with Hashem's help, that today it's going to be just as good. Everything that we cover when we come to speak about a specific topic, first thing we have to go is to see what the written Torah has to say about it. That's the foundation. Before we go to the Talmud, before we go to the Zohar, the Kabbalah, and ended up in a Poskim and Shulchan Aruch, first we have to see where does it start in a Torah. That's the beginning point. Always that's the rule. In everything we learn in Judaism, we come to the written Torah. We see what the Torah has to say clearly about it, or hinting about it, or in different ways. Because the Torah has 4 different categories of teaching. What we call in Hebrew Pardes. Pardes means an orchard. That's not what it means really here. It's abbreviation. Pardes means Pshat, Remes, Drash, and Sod. Pshat, it's the simple understanding. Avraham met Sarah. Everybody understand what it means. You don't need to be a genius for it. You read, you understand. That's Pshat, Pashut. Come from the word simple, Pshat. Then we have Remez. Remez mean hints. There's clues inside the text. What's the secrets inside? Inside the text of the Torah, you find all kinds of hints. Then we have Drash. Drash, what we call Midrash. It's, in our time, the best way to explain it is secrets from behind the scene. You have the scene, you have the stage, you see the show, and there are secrets beyond the scene that only few people knows. Not everybody knows. That's the secret. Just to give you an idea what I mean, is HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Avraham Avinu has a dialogue. They speak about something. Hashem comes to Avraham and say, take your son to Har Moriah, to the Moriah mountain. I want you to sacrifice your son to me. In the Torah it appears maybe in 3-4 verses. That's it. But everybody understands that the conversation was much longer. The way it's presented in the Torah, it's only very, very brief way. But in between the lines, there were more things that they spoke about. But the Torah did not mean to be very long. If every detail will be in the written Torah, the size of the Torah will be all the way from here to Manhattan. In order for you to bring it to a lecture, you need to bring a big truck just to bring it over. The purpose of Hashem was to give a very short book. Everything else comes in different parts. So he comes and says, take your son. He said, which son? You don't read it in the Torah. He said, the one you love. He said, which one? I love both of them. In the end, he says to him, Yitzchak. But we don't read all this. We only read what we must know. The rest is extras. That's called Midrashim. There's all kinds of secrets. And that's called Drash. And then we have the Sod, the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah, it's all the secrets of Judaism, the mysticism. It was never meant to be given to the ordinary people. Just another religious person or a Baal Tshuva that started yesterday to keep mitzvot, that's not for them. It's out of your territory. After 20, 30 years, you learn, you know, you control every page in the Torah from A to Z. You're a big scholar. Not every big scholar is going into Kabbalah. It depends also on the soul that you have. What is the root of your soul? Some people are very attracted to it. Some people cannot communicate with that. There's different things. But that's called secrets, the soul, the Kabbalah. Reading Kabbalah, learning Kabbalah, for someone who doesn't know a lot of Torah, it's much like trying to learn Chinese. You don't understand anything. All kinds of words, names of angels, all kinds of things. It's a separate profession from the actual Torah. It's like mamash learning another kind of Torah. It's very, very interesting, this Kabbalah. It's very, very attractive, but it's not for ordinary people. Very, very few people are capable of learning it, seriously. I know you hear about it everywhere you go, but you know it's all fake. It's not really real. What we're talking here about, we're talking real Kabbalah. Like you go to some places in Yerushalayim, in Bnei Brak, in Eretz Israel, you go to some hidden places, they check very carefully who comes into the shiur, not everyone is welcome, doesn't matter how long is your beard. So this is what we call Kabbalah. So we have Pshat, Remez, Drash, and Sod. Sometimes the Torah speaks about it in a way of the Pshat. Everybody reads, understands, nobody asks questions, it's clear. Sometimes the Torah only speaks about it through hints. It's not 100%. Sometimes the Torah teach about it in different parts of the Torah, what we call the Midrashim, only from what happened beyond the scene, but not in the actual text. And sometimes you only understand it through Kabbalah. There are other ways to take things out of the Torah. The reason I bring this introduction, because I would like first to address where do we find in a written Torah that a dream is something significant. Why do I care? If I wouldn't find it in the Torah, everything we want to say about it, many people will start to have doubts. How do we know? How come the Torah never mentioned anything about it? How come the Torah didn't write about it? How come the Torah didn't hint about it? How come we don't find it in any other parts of the Torah in any way of learning? But over here, Baruch Hashem, we have plenty of knowledge in the Torah that not only that dreams is something significant and important, we find in the Torah that it could become a matter of life and death. It can become an effect to the entire universe. A dream of a person can affect the entire universe, as we found in the case of Yosef. Yosef the Tzaddik, he was sold to Egypt, he was a teenage. Eventually he was out of the jail while he was 30 years old. While he was 30 years old, he brought to Paro, thanks to the dreams that Paro has. Paro has 2 dreams, and from that moment on, the nation of Israel was very affected from the dream of the king of Egypt. And what Yosef was able to solve the dreams, and the rest is history. So we find this is one source in the Torah how important a dream can be. But let me read you some of the sources before we move further. We know that Yaakov was the son-in-law of Lavan, and what happened is that Lavan is trying to cheat Yaakov. First he cheated him with Leah. After 14 years he worked to receive those 2 sisters as his wives. Eventually he worked 6 more years to receive the sheep. Sheep, it's like a pension. You work so many years in a place, one day you leave, they give you something. In the end, Yaakov became very wealthy, thanks to something that he did. Let's read. ויהי בעת יחם הצום, ואשא עיני וארא בחלום. He said when the sheep is fertilized, they're giving birth to their babies. He saw in his dream, והנה העתודים עולים על הצאן עקודים נקודים וברודים. Different signs in the body of the sheep, they made a deal. You take this, I take this, that's the end of it. But we see that before it happened, day or 2, whatever it was before, Yaakov saw Hashem show him in a dream what birth they're going to give, to this kind or to that kind. And based on that, he was able to make a lot of money thanks to a dream that Hashem showed him in a dream. And in reality, that's what happened. So we see this is an example of a dream that can make a person very rich. Let's move on. Then in another place it says, Vayomer elai malach haElokim bachalom. The angel of God came to me in a dream and told me, Yaakov, Vayomar ineni. Another place, Yaakov Avinu stopped in the Moriah mountain, Har Moriah. He sleeps over there and he has a dream. Angel is going up and down. From the dream, he realized this is the gate of heaven. Thanks to that dream, or actually before, in the time of Avraham Avinu, we already know that place is holy. Because from all the places in the world, Hashem took Avraham Avinu and his son to the mountain where the Kotel HaMa'aravi, where Beit HaMikdash used to be. Why from all the places in the world Hashem wanted him to sacrifice his son over there? It showed that the place is special. Later we see from Yaakov Avinu that he has the dream and he wakes up and what did he see? Oh, this is the gate of heaven. Right here. I didn't know. It's interesting because if you realize what Yaakov Avinu said when he woke up, Hashem already giving him such beautiful promise that he's going to watch him, to keep him, to give him everything he needs. And the first thing in his mind was, when he woke up, he was shaking. Ma nora makom hazeh. This place, it's scary, it's so holy. What are you worried? I don't understand. Hashem is your best buddy. He speaks to you like friends. I'm taking care of you. It's like a father to a son, right? You worry from your father? You had a meeting with your father. Your father raised you. Your father gave you everything you have. And now your father calls you to tell you how much he loves you. I'm giving you millions of dollars. What happened to you? You're going and you're dancing. You're not fainting, getting scared from your father. That's the difference between a person that has big Yirat Shamayim to an ordinary person. What's the first thing was on his mind, this is the gate to the next world, to the upper world, and I had the nerve to sleep here. That was on his mind. How can I fall asleep inside the shul, in the yeshiva? You know, the Gemara said that they asked the Tanaim, how did you live such a long life? One of the things that most of them answer, in my whole life, I never slept even 1 minute inside the Bet Midrash. You know, today people learn many hours, they fall asleep. You know, sometimes they're very tired, sometimes they're not so tired, they're just lazy. But whatever, we don't have the fear from the house of God like they used to have. Let's move on. והאיש משה ענב מאוד מכל האדם אשר על פני האדמה. And Moshe Rabbeinu is the most humble person ever lived. No one is more humble than him. ויאמר השם פתאום אל משה. Suddenly Hashem come and say to Moshe ואל אהרון ואל מרים, and Aaron and Miriam, צאו שלושתכם אל אוהל מועד. Go towards אוהל מועד. They all went there. And Hashem came there, he came down with the clouds, and he told Aaron and Miriam to go out, and then, this is what he said, ויאמר, שמעו נא דברי אם יהיה נביאכם השם במראה, אליו אתוודע בחלום אדבר בו. Hashem come and say to them like this, every prophet that I communicate with, it's all through dreams. The prophet of the Goyim, Bilam, every time he wants to get a message from Hashem, what does he say? Let me go to sleep. I'll answer you tomorrow morning. Why? When I'm up, Hashem doesn't come to me. Not only this filthy, wicked person, all the righteous Nevi'im, we had 48 Nevi'im, 48, and 7 ladies prophet. And every one of them that wanted to speak to Hashem, it was through a vision, mostly through the dreams. The only one who I speak to directly, even when he's up, when he's standing on his feet, every other prophet was fainting, falling on the floor, or falling on a couch, or on a chair, or whatever he was. He lost conscious, then he comes back and he begins to talk what God told him. Moshe Rabbeinu is up. It's the only person that receives information from Hashem, and you have the nerve to talk Lashon Hara about Moshe Rabbeinu? That's not the point here. We're not coming to speak about Lashon Hara now. We just wanted to highlight this word. Every person I communicate with through dreams. So we see that dream is something very important. Then it said, לא כן עבדי משה, בכל ביתי נאמנו. Everybody else I speak to, as I said, through the dreams. But Moshe, it's not like this. פה אל פה אדבר בו. Mouth to mouth. לא בחידות. Not in analogy, not in pictures, in a clear conversation like two individuals. Let's see what other things we can see here. The Malbim, he lived about 150 years ago. Not knowing when the Malbim live, if you read his commentary on the Torah, it's hard to believe that a person like this lived only 150 years ago. If nobody would know, you would be sure that he's in the level of Rashi and Ramban and all the others. The amount of knowledge that he had in the Torah, you can see some of the things he has is clearly 100% Nevuah and Ruach HaKodesh. I give you an example. There's a pasuk that says, Chitzav ki gibor maskil lo yashuv rekam. The arrows of the enemy, they are intelligent. Chitzav ki gibor maskil. They're heroes and they're also smart. That's all it says. The Malbim writes 150 years ago, the conventional weapons that we had was powder that you put inside a gun. Takes you a few minutes to put some powder. And then you shoot one time, and now you have to clean, put a little bit more powder, and then you shoot. That was the weapon. The rest was swords, bow and arrow, all kinds of, mechanical weapon. There was no bombs, no nothing. Definitely not chemical weapon, definitely not atomic bombs, nothing 150 years ago. No airplanes, no cars. So the world was very primitive. The Malbim writes over there, the arrows of the enemy will have their own brain, their own sechel, their own intelligence. They will find a way to the target by themselves. They will search for the target. Today we have missiles like this. You shoot, the missile goes like this, goes up and down. You can put a missile into a very small window in a building from very far away. The plane is very far. He designates the arrow right into the window, and it doesn't matter. The missile is going to go and go right into that hole. Nobody was able to write such a thing 150 years ago, that an arrow will find the way to the target by itself. This is just an example of Malbim. Malbim writes like this. The prophet, Anavi, יודע ההבדל האמיתי. He knows the difference between a dream and a prophecy. Regular dream. A person has regular dreams. And to a prophecy that he knows, oh, now Hashem is talking to me and giving me important information. If it is a dream, he says, no, that was my own dream. If it's dream, it's my dream. But if it's a prophecy, he begins to speak in the name of Hashem. That's it. A chalom, regular dream, always have false information in it. Whenever you have a dream, something happened, you see a whole movie now. Some of the details in the story on purpose are not correct. But the prophecy is crystal clear. Every inch, every dot, every word over there is 100% divine. It's just like reading the Torah. It's a divine prophecy. It's different than a regular dream that a person has a mixture of the truth and some false information combined. Another example, ויבוא אלוקים אל אבימלך בחלום הלילה. Avimelech is about to make a sin with Sarah. Hashem comes to him in a dream and say, you are going to die for the woman you took. She's a married woman. Here is another source in the Torah that Hashem can come to a person and speak to him and give him information in a dream. בגבעון נראה השם אל שלמה. That was so far, it was the Torah. Now let's talk a little bit about the Nach, Nevi'im and Ktuvim. בגבעון נראה השם אל שלמה. Hashem came to Shlomo, King Solomon, בחלום הלילה, in a dream. ויאמר אלוקים, שאל מה אתן לך. He was 12 years old when he became the king. Imagine 12 years old. Today, 12 years old, all he knows is to play Game Boys. And half a page of Gemara. He learned. After a few years, half a page of Gemara, he can tell you. You know? Shlomo HaMelech has to be the king not only of Israel. He was a legendary king that affected the whole world. Eventually he built Bet HaMikdash. He wasn't just another king. 12 years old, he became the king. And the first thing he asked, what was the first thing he asked? Hashem asked him, what do you want? He comes to him in a dream, speaks to him, in mamash nevuah. Tell me what you want for me to do. He could have said, I want you to clean all my enemies. They're about to make revolution here. They're not happy I'm the king. Please take care of each one of them. Clean them, that I won't have any resistance. He didn't ask. Give me lots of money. He didn't ask. He could have asked so many different things. What did he ask? Just give me a decent common sense to be honest and to be a fair judge to judge your nation. Hashem was so happy from his request, he gave him everything. Everything you got. Imagine you ask, give me lots of money. Give him money, he would lose all the other. But then he became the smartest person ever lived. But it started when? In a dream. 12 years old, not bar mitzvah yet. Hashem already speaks to him in a dream. Let's read some of the commentary about the dreams in the Torah. Halo le'elokim pitronim. Yosef said to Paro, I'm not the one who solved your dreams. It's all I'm receiving from Hashem. לא יוכל אדם לפתור חלומות בשלמות אם לא בהיות רוח אלוקים נוססה בו. A person that is supposed to solve dreams, to understand all the details in a dream, cannot be just another person from the street or somebody who started yesterday to learn Torah. You understand? It doesn't work that way. This person, first of all, has to have the spirit of Hashem in him. Spirits of Hashem on a person doesn't mean he's a prophet. He can have moments of Ruach HaKodesh. He sees it, he thinks about the dream, he sees all of a sudden something that other people cannot see. Also, what we call today Siyata Dishmaya, special assistant from heaven. Every person has Siyata Dishmaya in his purpose in life. If a person is sacrifices his life to be a Moel, he wants to be a Moel, he's in Russia, he's walking in the snow, he gives his life for it. There is one point in his life that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so impressed from his devotion that from now on he gives him special help. One miracle after the other. After you prove who you are, I'm giving you more and more help. If a person is teaching in his community Torah for many years and he gives his life for it, and he's really doing it for the mitzvah, nothing else, he comes to a point that you see everything he touches is blessed. Not materialistic, I'm talking spiritually. Every advice he gives, every answer he gives, even when people ask him a question he doesn't know, the answer comes right away because Hashem protects his honor and he has special siyata dishmaya, special help. Same thing a woman. If a woman gives a lot to be modest, and there's a lot of challenges, and other women try to convince her, to be like them, but she gives her life for it, she sees special siyata dishmaya in this more than other people, and everything else in life. Over here, without siyata dishmaya, it's very difficult to understand the meaning in the dreams, because I'm going to give you a few examples of the dream from the Talmud. Sometimes there's no connection from the answer to what the dream is. Some of the dreams come from thinking during the day. Mirure deyoma. A person went to the dentist, 3 hours he's on a chair, he goes to sleep at night, he dreams that his teeth are falling. Then he's nervous for a week, he go crazy. He cannot eat. What's going on? Moshe, what's going on? I had the worst dream. No, Moshe, you're 3 hours by the dentist, you went to sleep. You dream about what you had. You went to do sport, at night you dream about the game. You had something in yeshiva, at night you dream about it. That's a very common dream. Some of the dreams come from heaven. Sometimes it comes by spirits. Sometimes by demons. And very, very few, very small percentage of the dreams that people have come by angels. That's the best ones. The dreams that comes by the angels, they are dreams that do not have only one answer. They have few possible answers, depend who you coming to answer you for your dream. It's very interesting. And a person who solves the dream has to be a holy person, righteous, that the Spirit of Hashem is on him. Some of the dreams require to fast, to mourn for the bad message that a person got. Why? Because we're afraid maybe an angel sent that message and chas v'shalom, it's a warning. But most of the dream comes from different sources. The dreams can be changed from good to bad based on what comes out of the mouth of the person who solved the dream. So it's critical who you tell your dream to. If you tell it to your enemy, Shem Yirachem, he says something bad, it goes after his mouth. If you say to a person who loves you and wish you only good, by what came out of his mouth, it's affecting completely the dream from bad to good, or from good to bad, God forbid. As we learned in Perek HaRoeh in the Gemara speaks about 24 different people who used to solve dreams to the public, and each one of them used to give a different answer to the same dream, and each one that had that dream got exactly what the person who told him. 24 same dreams, 24 different fortunes that happened differently to the people based on the mouth of these people. Let's move on. Ktiv b'chalom adaber bo, the Gemara in Masechet Brachot, page 55, the Gemara says like this. In one place we found that the Torah say, b'chalom adaber bo, I speak to him through the dreams. And another place it says, Halomot shav yedaberu. Don't pay too much attention to the dream. There's too much nonsense in it. It's not 100% pure, you know. It's a lot of things that are not correct. It's a contradiction. In one place you see a source that Hashem speaks to people through the dreams. And another way it says, no, don't pay too much attention to the dream. It's not always correct. The Gemara says no kashya, no contradiction. This is a dream that comes from a demon. The demons like to torture people, right? Not only people like to torture people, the demons also like to torture people. And some of the dreams, the ones that the Torah says, B'chalom adaber bo, comes by an angel. The chalomot olchim achar hapeh. The dreams go after the mouth of the person who solved the dream. How do we know? Where is the source for it? Amar Rabbi Elazar, minayin shekol hachalomot olchim acharei hapeh. How do we know that all the dreams follow the mouth of the person who answered? Sheneemar v'ahi ka'asher patar lanu ken haya. The two ministers that came out of jail and went, Yosef solved their dreams, and they came to Paro and they say, exactly what he told us happened. We think he told them what the dream was. But basically the dream materialized according to what he said. Understand what's going on here? Whatever is, it's like sometimes you come to a tzaddik, and the tzaddik say to you, yeah, buy that apartment. That wasn't the plan of Hashem. Maybe Hashem wanted you to move to a different place. But this person say, yeah, take this apartment. Hashem changed the whole plan. Cleans the place for you, get rid of all the bad energy there. Oh, why? This Chacham send you over there? Tzaddik gozer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekayem. I had an uncle, alav hashalom, that when he had a question, he used to go to Rav Ben Zion Abba Shaul, the biggest Rav we had until 12 years ago in the whole world, and the biggest Kabbalist also. And he used to ask him. And Rav Ben Zion Abba Shaul almost every day had Ruach HaKodesh. It wasn't once in a while. People who were close to him saw that he has mamash the Shekhinah on his face. And he comes to him and says, Rabbi, I'm going to get my pension money after 40 years working in refrigerators. In Israel there's a company, they make refrigerators. I'm about to retire and I'm about to get a lot of money for all the years I worked there. And I want to ask, he used to live in a city called Ramle, next to the airport. He said, where should I buy? Should I buy an apartment in Ramle? The money I'm about to get, it's enough to pay full cash to buy in Ramle, but Ramle it's not such an expensive city. Or I should buy in Yerushalayim and give it as a down payment and I have 50% mortgage. Because an apartment like this in Yerushalayim is exactly double. So he told him, when are you getting the money? He told him in 2 months. He said, come to me when you have the money in your hands. So my uncle, a little bit chutzpah, alav hashalom, he asked questions, he wasn't embarrassed, no matter who he is. So he told him, Kvod Harav, I don't understand. I'm asking a question, it's very simple. Either it's better to buy in Ramle without owing money, or in Yerushalayim with owing a lot of money, 50%. What does it matter? I have the money, I don't. It's a regular question. He told him, no, but right now I don't have siyata dishmaya to see the answer. When you have the money in your hand, then Hashem will give me the answer. You understand? Right now, it's not, in reality, he never got the money. Maybe he didn't want to disappoint. Maybe he didn't want to disappoint him. Poor guy. No, anyway, let's move on. When are we have to start a little bit worry about the dream? When? When the dream repeats itself more than once. The same dream today and 2-3 days later, the same exact dream. Then it's more significant than the dream that came only once. Also, if the dream is in the beginning of the night, 11, 12, 1, 2, and you wake up nervous, don't worry at all. This is not a real dream. This is a mixture of everything that your brain had in your conscious and your subconscious, and it became an Israeli salad. Don't worry about it. And with the help of the demons, they take a little bit from here and they make a story. Oh, you're either very happy or you're very nervous. baloney, don't worry. If the dreams is 5, 6 in the morning, 7 o'clock, if you're lazy, you're still sleeping, so it can be 7 o'clock, then it's a chance that this dream is real, because it's the end of the night and not the beginning of the night. Then, as I started to say, if the dream comes in the beginning of the night, Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani says in the Gemara, Amar Rabbi Yonatan, En marim lo la'adam, ela mi'irurei libo. What goes through your brain all day, all week, all comes to you when you go to sleep. Sometimes a person eats a heavy dinner, he eats heavy dinner, and you know when the food goes into the stomach has acid, and it's a very, very strong liquid that digests the food right away within hours. Even metal can be digested by this acid. And what happens is, this acid creates gas inside the stomach. And a gas, when a person goes to sleep and there is a big, massive amount of gas, so it goes into the brain and press on all different kinds of places in the brain and make him a movie inside his head. That's also affecting the brain, and a person wake up and he thinks something happened, and it really wasn't something real. Min ha'edim ha'olim el harosh. The steam that goes into the head, also affecting what the person sees in his dreams. Sometimes a person sees a dream and is not sure if it's good or bad. Should he cry and fast for it, or he should be happy for it? What's the meaning of this dream? Did Hashem send me a good message here or a bad message? I'm not sure. What's the solution? When he goes to shul, when the Kohanim makes Birkat Kohanim, and everybody say Amen or Ken Yehi Ratzon, that's the time to pray and say, Ribon HaOlamim, dear God, I am yours and my dreams are yours. Whether it's a dream that I dreamed myself, whether it's a dream that my friend dreamed about me, if it's a good dream, materialize it. Make it happen quick. Like the dream of Yosef. If it needs a cure, cure it. And if it's bad, turn it into good. If it's Chaz v'Shalom klala, please turn it into bracha. That's the time to ask for Hashem, Chaz v'Shalom, if it's bad, to turn it into good. Sometimes a person eats spicy food before he goes to sleep, such as hot pepper, garlic, onion, and anything else that is very spicy, or drink alcohol, which is also spicy. And in the middle of the dream, he begins to dream all kinds of things, and that's because of the effect of the food that he was eating. Sometimes a person does not watch his eyes and look at the not modest ladies on the street or in movies or anywhere that he goes. He's not watching his eyes. And as a result of this, his punishment is that there are angels that have permission to come in an image of a woman and make him dream bad dreams and make more sins. Avera goreret avera. If people watch their eyes and they will live holy life, usually it doesn't happen to them. It can be 70 years, it never happened once. If it's a holy person that live holy lifestyle. If it's a person who doesn't watch his modesty, then Hashem Yerachem, this is in the book of Reshit Chochmah, in Masechet Gehenom, if the chapter that describe hell, there's one chapter over there that describes the name of these angels. You're not even allowed to say it, but the name indicates about their job. The name comes from the word desire. Mefatim, that's their name. Pei, Taf, Vav, Taf, which comes from the word lefatot. To tempt a person to make a sin. That's their names. And then they come to testify in his trial, I am the one that made a sin with that person while he was sleeping, Bichlal. The body is here, but already Chazal told us that the person is not where his body and his legs are, it's where his mind is. Person can be right here and his mind is in a business right now. Where is he? In Manhattan right now. He's not here. Yeah, he's sitting, he's watching me, he's supposedly hearing me, But his mind is on the deal that yes, tomorrow morning, what's going to happen? Did I come on time? Will my partner say something stupid again? He's not really here. He's right now in his office. Sometimes a person can be laying there in a park, and relaxing, and then get a heart attack. Why? Somebody put headphones on his head, and he hear bombs in Vietnam, people are screaming, and it made his blood pressure go up, and he died. And they write, he died in Vietnam. What Vietnam? It was in a park here, relaxing in a park in the morning. Why? His mind was over there. That's why he died. He didn't die from the park. And the other way around. Sometimes a person can be in a very bad place, but he focuses in a good thing. It doesn't affect him what's happening there. Okay? So, if the dream is a woman that he knows, that he looks at her, then it's what we said before. What you see during the day, you dream during the night. But if it's a woman that he never saw in his life, never, ever, never saw this image, nowhere, in pictures, in reality, nowhere, then you know it's a demon, these angels that I talked about, that come in a custom of a woman and goes inside his brain and make him commit the sin. Then, when a person is waking up in a dream, he sees himself in a dream making tshuva. He regrets his sins. He's scared from his sins. Then for sure you know it's a wake-up call from heaven that comes to him to wake him up even more than what he started. If he started, Hashem helps him. שיפשפש במעשיו ויחזור בתשובה. To start, make a real serious tshuva. If a person sees that they put him in a dream in a band, he sits in front of the Beit Din, the rabbis, and they say, you are benidui, God forbid. Yeah, he has to go in front of 10 people and they have to do a special atara for this nidui, even though it was in reality. In reality, you also need atara, but even in a dream, you cannot ignore such a dream. That means this is nazuf lashamayim. That means Hashem is very upset with you about something. That's why he showed you that dream. Yefashfesh b'ma'asav, and these chachamim, those rabbis that he went to, has to show him the way to make tshuva, to investigate him, to see what sins he does, to show him the right way. Then, what happens if a person has a very bad dream on Friday night, which is Shabbat? Shabbat, you're not allowed to fast. Some dreams, if it's in Shabbat morning, it's even permitted to have to fast on the actual day of Shabbat. Today it's not so common anymore because the level of the people is nothing compared to what it used to be when this was written. And in the old days, people took it very serious and even on Shabbat. But today, it's not recommended. The person, will wait until after Shabbat because Shabbat wasn't given to fast and to torture yourself. That's what it says, the Shulchan Aruch in Orach Chaim, Siman Resh Peichet, it says like this. יש אומרים שאין להתענות תענית חלום בשבת. Some say you're not supposed to fast on Shabbat from a bad dream that you had. Unless if you saw the dream 3 times. Then even on Shabbat. If it repeated Friday night already for the 3rd time, you don't wait. You do it right away on Shabbat. Maybe by Sunday it will be too late, God forbid. ויש אומרים שבזמן הזה אין להתענות תענית חלום בשבת. This 500 years ago, there was a question if you're allowed or not. For sure, today. Yeah? So the answer is, we don't do this today. שאין אנו בקיאים בפתרון חלומות. We don't have the specialty of 2,000 years ago that the rabbis knew right away by the dream. What does it mean? What Hashem told you. So the level of the rabbis today compared to 2,000 years ago is nothing to compare. Since we don't have the knowledge like we used to, we don't fast and don't torture ourselves on Shabbat. There are few dreams that are mentioned in the Talmud that they are very bad. One, that he sees a Sefer Torah is burning, God forbid. In the middle of his dream, he see, somebody burn the Sefer Torah. Or he see Yom HaKippurim, he see himself inside the shul in Yom Kippur, in the last hour, what we call Tfilat Ne'ilah. In his dream, I'm not talking a day after Yom Kippur that he sees it. He remember what he had yesterday, it's no problem. But we're talking 3, 4, 5 months after Yom Kippur, all of a sudden he goes to sleep and he sees himself standing with his talit, everyone is crying in a shul, in the last hour of Yom Kippur, that's a very bad dream. If a person sees that the walls of his house are falling or tilted to fall, or that his teeth are falling, the teeth are falling in a dream, then it's also a bad dream. But again, that's with condition that he didn't go to the dentist today. If you went to the dentist today or yesterday, don't panic. Only if you don't remember what dentist is, and all of a sudden you see this dream, especially if it comes in the morning, then it's something to worry about a little bit. Right away you run to the rabbi to give you an advice what to do. There's another bad dream. Someone who sees that he gets married in a dream, inside the dream, and sometimes you see that he reads in the Torah inside his dream. While he's sleeping, he sees himself laying inside the Torah. And sometimes a person sees that his cheeks are falling out of his face also in a dream. This is the list of the dreams. Someone who sees that his cheeks are falling, not the teeth, the cheeks, that's a sign that all the people who were after him, all of them died. They cleaned from the world. There are people who were planning to do something bad for him. They're not going to be able to harm him anymore. מעשה שעשו ארון למת. One time, the Sefer Hasidim, it's hundreds of years ago, he brings a story that they made a coffin to a dead body, to a dead person, from a wood, and there was some wood left. They didn't use the whole wood. There was some, after they cut and they put it together, there's some pieces of wood left. And a Jew saw it, and he said, oh, great, I can use the leftover wood to make myself a violin. Save me the money to buy wood. The Chachamim told him, don't touch this. Don't make anything from that. It's not good. It was meant for a grave, to go to the grave. He said, you're too fanatic, Rabbi, you're fanatic. ולא חשש ותיקן כלי שיר מאותה חתיכה. He didn't care what they say, and he made him a violin. Then he went to sleep at night, and he saw the dead person that was buried in that coffin. He comes to him in a dream. And he said to him, before he made it, while he was starting to make it, he said, listen, if you're going to do it, I'm going to take revenge against you, if you use those pieces of wood. And he said, Chalomot shav yedaberu. Who is he? He's going to take care of revenge. It's leftover pieces. And he still made the violin. And then he came to him again in a dream, and he said, I give you one last chance. Take the violin and break it, if you don't want to mess with me. He said, I don't care about you. And he became sick. He became sick, very sick. Then his son saw that that's what's happening. Without asking permission, he took the violin and broke it to pieces. Where the rabbi told him, go to the grave of that person, over there you break it. That, that's what's going to be the solution for your father's sickness. And the minute he broke it, before he even came home, his father was completely healthy. Everything left him. So this is something that happened in reality that shows you what can happen through a warning from a dead person in a dream. The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin brings a story, מעשה במוחס אחד ישראל רשע שמת. A Jew was working in a duty in Ben Gurion Airport 2,000 years ago, before there were airplanes. And then, the same day he died, a big Rav died. Big Tzaddik died in the same day like this wicked person. And all the people came to pay respect to the Chacham, to the Rabbi. And a few relatives of that wicked person from the duty also came to take care of his body. While they were going towards the cemetery, it used to be, robbers coming on horse with swords, and they robbed the whole people on the way to the funeral. So everyone started to run all over. They left the two bodies, the coffins over there, the wicked and the righteous, and everybody ran all over. There was one Talmid, one scholar that loved this Rav very much. He said, I'm not leaving the body here. Who knows what's going to happen? They steal it. Who knows? So he went and hid himself behind the rock or something, and he was paying attention which coffin belongs to his Rav and which one to the wicked person, that there won't be a confusion. After a while, when the robbers disappeared, all the Chachamim came back, and by mistake they took the body of the wicked person, and the family of the wicked person took the rabbi with them. Hardly have a minyan. The Talmid was screaming, no, I'm telling you, I was here. Ah, what are you talking about? Screaming, it's not him. No. And this Talmid was much broken heart. He said, what? Why my Rav deserved such an end? That in his funeral he didn't have anyone. And this wicked person got so many hundreds of people came to pay him respect. Then he went to sleep and he had a dream. What happened in a dream? His Rav came to him in a dream and said, don't cry. What are you worried about? Come, I'll show you my place in heaven. It will cheer you up. I'm getting a lot of respect here. And come, I'll show you the place of this person in hell. That you see that justice exists, don't worry. But do you know why in the funeral the boxes got mixed? One time I heard people speaking against the Chacham, against the rabbi, and I was there and I did not stop them. I was there and I ignored it. Because of that, that was my punishment. I should have get up and scream over there, be quiet, how dare you talking against the Chacham? And I didn't do it, and because of that, that was my punishment. And this Rasha, one time he made a meal for politicians, all the people who bribes him in the airport when they want to bring their stuff. And something went wrong and they couldn't show up. They told him, we cannot come. Oh, you cannot come? What am I going to do with all the food now? So he had two options. One is to throw all the food to the garbage, or one, to go and stand on the street and scream, gets a little bit embarrassment. I have food. Everyone who is hungry, please come eat for free. He was standing on the street, and all the poor people quickly ran, and they all ate from that meal. And in that case, that was the mitzvah that he did. For that, he got such a nice funeral instead of what he was really deserved. So, we see over here another source in the Talmud about the significance of a dream. Now, let's go more specifically to the dreams. I know that's what interests you the most. Let's talk business now. Pay attention. 3 things, if a person sees them in a dream, he gets peace in his life. Peaceful life. One is a big mountain. He dreams a big mountain. Not because he went to ski today. I saw a big mountain on the way to upstate New York. No. He's here in Manhattan, all of a sudden he dreams about a mountain. No? Or in Queens. A bird. A bird. And a pot that you cook. You see a pot inside the dream. Those 3 things, it's a sign of peace in his dream. 3 prophets, 2 of them is good, and 1 of them is a doubt if it's good or bad. Someone who see Prophet Yeshaya in his dream, if he saw Prophet Yeshaya learning in his dream, as a book or something, and he reads something, then he will have a comfort soon for a problem that he has. If he see any king, also that means it's going to be something important soon. If he see Prophet Yirmiyah, Jeremiah, he has to be worried. Something is about to happen. Some says, if he see Prophet Yechezkel, Ezekiel, is about to go to the exile, but only a temporary exile, which means he return eventually to Eretz Israel. 3 Hasidim, 3 very righteous people, if you see them, you know Hashem will open up your mind and you will be a very wise person. Who are they? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Ishmael ben Elisha, and Rabbi Pinchas. Those 3 Chachamim, if you see them, then you know Hashem send you a sign, Habibi, you're going to be also a big Chacham. Tanu Rabbanan. 5 things were told about an ox that eat, if you eat not the cow, you eat the ox, the bull, if you eat the meat of the ox, in the dream, you become rich. If he hit you with his horns, then you're going to have children that are Talmidei Chachamim, love to learn Torah and very successful in it. If the ox beat you, that means suffering is on the way to you, God forbid. If he kicked you, you have to go on a long journey. If you sit on his back, you ride on him, you're going to be a very important leader. If you see a donkey in a dream, you're going to see salvation. Why? It's the significance of the Mashiach that he comes on a donkey. If you see a white horse in a dream, whether he's relaxed, whether he's running, it's a good sign. If you see a red one, if he's standing, it's a good sign. If he's running, it's a bad sign. If you see Ishmael, which Ishmael? The son of Avraham Avinu. If you see Ishmael in a dream, Hashem is receiving your prayers, is accepting your prayers. If you see a camel in a dream, you were supposed to die and Hashem saved you. You got saved from a death. If you see an elephant in a dream, wonders are about to happen to you. Pele. Someone who goes to the bathroom in the middle of his dream. It's a very good sign, don't worry. Someone who goes up to the roof of his house or the building is going to be very big. Someone who comes down from the roof, if he's an important person, is going to be down, is going to lose his greatness. Someone who ripped his clothes in the middle of the dream, that means his verdict, his judgment against him was ripped apart, cancelled. Someone who goes into the lake in the middle of his dream, he becomes a Rosh Yeshiva. Now I know what you're going to do. All the guys tomorrow will go to the lake here in Queens. All day sitting by the lake. Maybe tonight I'll dream. Someone who they take blood out of his body in a dream, that means Hashem forgives his sins. If you see a snake in a dream, that's a common thing. Everyone is nervous now. Oy vey. If you see a snake, you're going to make good parnasa. If he beat you, double. Very good. You made your homework here, I see. When it comes to parnasa, every Jew is a genius. You know the joke. You know, the plane is landing in Israel, so there's Jews and non-Jews on the plane. So the captain say, please sit, don't rise, don't get up. Stay with your seatbelt buckled, and please don't turn your cell phone on until the plane will reach a complete parking. Then after 2 minutes, the captain say, for those of you who are standing and already speaking on their cell phone, have a happy Hanukkah. For those of you who are buckled and are still sitting, have a happy Christmas. Time is money, Habibi, cell phone, right away, business. Oh. All right. So anyway, before, it says like this. If the snake killed him in a dream, not only beat him, you know he died in a dream, or he lost all his parnasa. All drinks in a dream are good, except drinking wine in a dream. Everything you drink, you see yourself drinking, is a good sign, except wine. All animals are good in a dream, except elephant, monkey, and a porcupine. Now, porcupine, the ones with the needles, what do you call it? Yeah? Porcupine. Ooh, Shh.
You said an elephant was lucky.
כן, לא יודע, I'm reading. All fruits are good except figs. No, except dates that are not cooked yet. You know the ones that they sell in Rosh Hashanah here in a grocery store? That's not the black. it's still yellow. If you see it in a dream, it's not good. But everything else is good. All vegetables are good in a dream. All vegetables are good in a dream, except lefet. How do you say lefet? Oh, that's a hard one. Turnip? Turnip, yeah, turnip. Yeah. All colors are good in a dream. Shh. Oh, I tell you the contradiction with the elephant. Someone who see elephant, that means he had already the miracles done to him. No more. That's why. I see. The last two words in a page I skipped. Yeah. Naasulo. All right. All colors are good except light blue. Why? Ask Hashem. Why are you asking me? If you see a eulogy in a dream, then you know Hashem redeemed your life. Someone who say Amen Yesh Merabah in his dream, Muftach lo shu ben ha'olam haba. He has a guarantee to have a share to the world to come, if it's Shomer Shabbos, of course. Because you can have a guarantee if Obama promised you to be a judge in a Supreme Court and the next day you went and murdered someone. What's going to happen to Obama's promise? He won't pick up your phone anymore. Right? Even if he made you the promise in front of the whole media, after you murder the next day, you lost it. Over here, we're talking about normal, clean people. Not a person that is Mechalel Shabbat, or a murderer, or doing all kinds of Avodah Zarah. He said, I had a dream. I stayed in a dream. Yesh Merabah. I can kill as much as I want. I have a guarantee already. Let's not be fools. Then, someone who see Kriyat Shema in a dream. Ra'ui shetishre shechina alav. He deserves to have the spirit of Hashem on him. But the generation doesn't have the merit for it. So that's why he doesn't get it. Because the generation doesn't have this merit. Someone who puts tefillin in a dream is on the way up. Very good. Someone who prays in a dream, also very good. Someone who had relation in a dream with an engaged woman, that means he's going to be higher in his Torah knowledge. Yes. In a dream. In a dream. Please. Rabbi, what's going on here? What did I get myself into? Tomorrow you'll see my poster all over with an X on it. Why is it? Since you're laughing, I have to make sure that you didn't get the wrong idea here. שנאמר, תורה ציווה לנו משה, מורשה קהילת יעקב, אל תקרא מורשה, אלא מאורסה. Don't say מורשה, it's in heritage. Don't say in heritage, say in engagement. Hashem engaged the Torah to us. It's like the ring is the Torah on the finger of a woman, that's it. So from here they know that if you see such a thing, that means you're going up in your Torah learning. Some of the things I skip here after you're laughing. I know it's going to be too much. And if you want, after the lecture you come, I'll tell you what I skip. Oh, wow. This one is very tempting to say, but I know it will be the last time the rabbi will invite me here, so let's skip it. No, after the lecture, quietly, in the parking. In the parking. Okay. Don't worry, it's only a dream. Someone who see wheat, no, not wheat, barley in the dreams, is intentional sins are getting cleaned. Intentional, not intentional. Someone who see geffen, grapes, on a tree, it's a geffen. If it's full of grapes, his wife will not have miscarriages. But if it's empty, it could be, God forbid. הרואה תאנה בחלום, someone who see fig in a dream, the Torah that he knows, he will not forget. It will stay inside of him. Someone who see olives in a dream, his reputation becomes better and better. Someone who see olive oil will see the light of the Torah. Someone who see a goat in his dream, that means he's going to have a good year. If he see two goats, two good years. I could have told you the same thing. Someone who see hadassim. How do you say hadas in English?
Willow.
Huh?
Willow.
Willow? No.
Everyone knows what it does. Lenta.
Not lenta. Not adashim. Hadas with hay. Hadas, ארבעת המינים. Vertel? Vertel? Vertel, okay. Vertel. Okay, no. If you see a vertel, your business become very successful. If you don't have a business, don't worry, soon you're going to have. Someone who see a trog in a dream. If he's beautiful, a trog, that means he's beautiful in front of Hashem, in the eyes of God. Oh, that's a good one. Someone who see a rooster, tarnegol, male rooster, means he's going to have a baby boy. Baby boy. So if you had many girls, make sure you bring a rooster to the house.
You know about it.
Huh?
You know about it.
Yeah. Someone who see more than one rooster, he's going to have more than one boy. Someone who see eggs in his dream, that means his request from Hashem is pending. If the eggs are broken, Hashem accepted his request. If he see nuts, or zucchinis in his dream, and every glass utensils, same thing. If they break, Hashem accepted his request. If they smashed or break, okay. Someone who enters a city in his dream, that means people will help him to do what he needs in his life. He needs help from people, they'll help him. Someone who shave his head in a dream, good sign. If he shave his head and his beard, shaved his beard,
It's a bad sign. It's a bad
depend with the razor or not, you should say. No, over here everyone only with machine. It's a good sign for him and for his whole family. In a dream. Don't shave your beard too hard. Everything the dead person takes in a dream, if a dead person comes and takes something in a dream, it's good or bad?
Bad. It looks bad. Good.
It's take is good, even bad.
It's very good. If he takes, it's very good.
If he takes or we take.
If the dead person takes, it's very good.
What about if you give?
If he gives, depend what he give.
Envelope, white envelope.
White envelope, full of cash or no? That's a very good sign. Yeah. Now I'll tell you. You remind me about a dream. I tell you a few stories that happened to me. It's the best thing that you can tell Torah, that you are a witness to the story. One time, I went to give a lecture in New Jersey. I don't want to say the name of the town because these people are still there. And next day I won't be able to go there anymore. Very delicate the situation. Sometimes I say something in a lecture and then a whole month I pray to Hashem that individual won't watch it. My whole time, Hashem, make sure this guy somehow skip that part. You know, because maybe I gave too much signs, he will know I'm talking about him. No, you need special help, protection from Hashem. So there's a couple, husband and wife, that used to be very, very, very wicked people. Not that they are bad people, they're very nice and pleasant people, very nice and pleasant, polite, with manners, but very wicked. Why very wicked? Many years ago, they started a party in the Israeli Knesset that called Shinui. You know what Shinui means? A change. No, but what change? Change from good to bad. They wanted to eliminate the Jewish religion and the Torah in Israel, to erase it. Not to allow Torah, not yeshivot, not to help anything, not synagogues, to make completely to eliminate the religion. They made when they came to the voters, they say, we will get you out of all the pressure that the religious people put in this country. Transportation on Shabbat, pork stores everywhere, no marriages by rabbis, no funerals by rabbis. We're going to make Israel China. That's it. 500,000 people vote for them. From a country that have about 5 million Jews, that's all. The rest is all going. 5 million Jews, 500,000 vote for them. It's 10% of the population are extreme against religion. Of course, it's from ignorance, because many of them, when I meet them after a conversation, right away they change their views. Because you see that it's from ignorance, not from evilness. Anyway, this couple started it, and they saw they're not doing so good. They're not doing so good. So then they took a television host, someone that has a talk show, that all day speak against religion everywhere, writes article in a newspaper. They made him the head of their party, and right away they got 15 mandats. 15 mandats from 120. It's actually more than 10%. Anyway, one time they were invited to a yahrzeit. Somebody invited me to our father yahrzeit. It actually was Shiva. It was in the 7 days that they see Shiva over there. There was a lot of people there. And this couple came as neighbors in the neighborhood also to participate in the Shiva. And I gave a lecture over there. And their eyes was open like this. And then they started to ask me questions. And then I made another lecture over there in the shul. And they came. And then they told me, can you do a lecture in our house? And I said, of course. So I went to the house. So 3 or 4 times they already came to my lecture. That's it. They started to keep Shabbat. And the woman there started to feel comfortable telling me about, things, advice, this. Okay. Now one day, she comes to me and said, listen, I never said Shiva on my father. First, I was completely not religious. That's one point. But even if I was religious, I wouldn't see Shiva on him. Why? One day my father took a plane and went to Romania and never returned. And I was a young girl. He never returned. And what did we think? Maybe he cheated on my mother. He found someone and he left Israel, and that's it. So we hated him very much. We found out after a few years that he died. And only later we found out that he was an Israeli Mossad agent. That he went on a 1-week trip to Romania, was supposed to come back. And Ceausescu, with the communist over there, found out. They put him in jail and he died over there with tortures. That's how he died. So now I feel very bad. Now I became religious. And now I never said Shiva on my father, and I don't have brothers. It's only me and one sister or more sisters. And I hear that Kaddish is very important for the soul. What do you suggest we do? I told her, listen, the Kaddish usually helps the first year. That's when it's critical. The first year, the person needs our help. The first year, the most. But it always helps later also. In his yahrzeit, in other time. Any mitzvah you do benefits your father. So, what do you have to lose? Maybe you pay some money to one of the guys in our yeshiva in Monsey, whatever you can afford, every month. You nominate him to be your messenger. And he say Kaddish anyway in yeshiva every day. He would add your father to the list. Start saying Kaddish on your father. And then we'll see what's going to happen. I had a lot of miracles with this, I tell her. She said, oh, great idea. So she started to send checks once a month. And that person started to say Kaddish on her. About 2 months after that case, it was Friday morning, 11 o'clock. I was driving in Monsey. I get a phone call. I see a New Jersey area code. I pick up the phone. She cannot talk. You know when a person is very excited, he mumbles, you don't understand anything. Yeah, what happened? You don't know if it's good or bad yet. The people who are crying and the people who are laughing, they both mumble. It takes a minute or two to realize. And I'm nervous. I'm sitting waiting. Is it good or bad? You know, my heart. As soon as I get this phone call, it takes me sometimes half a minute, 2 minutes until I realize what this person wants to say. So in the end, she said, don't ask. After so many years, my father died. He came to me this night in a dream and said to me, don't stop. You have no idea how much you're saving me. Don't stop. You have no idea how much I needed that. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. That's it. That's the dream. Power of the dream. I used to give lectures with Professor Rubinstein. That was 12 years ago, 13 years ago, who knows, 14 years ago. One time we sat in the Shabbos in a seminar in a hotel. We speak about AIDS. Why AIDS? He's the doctor who invented the word AIDS. HIV, he named the disease. I think in 1981. He's a world specialist to blood sicknesses. He's the head of Einstein Hospital here in the Bronx. He's a very big doctor. He became religious. One of the ways he became religious when he saw that the AIDS virus is behaving different than all other viruses. All other viruses, you attack it, you destroy it. But over here, it's mutation. It keeps changing to different kinds. You attack it, it's like a person. It changes shield right away. You attack it again, let's say it's A, you inject minus A, it changed to B. You inject minus, oh, that was my lecture over there, but I have a lecture over here. That's okay, as long as you listen. So you inject minus B, it changed to C. So where is the chance to make a medicine for it? It's very difficult. So he told me then, there's no chance to make a cure for it. There's only a chance to make vaccine. You inject a person, he won't get it. But once he has it, that's it. Through these things, one time he said in a seminar a story. When his father died, he wasn't religious at all. How long ago was that? 17 years before he became religious. 17 years. His father is dead already. When he became religious, after a few months, his mother passed away. So he was saying Kaddish for his mother. He said Shiva, everything. And then after a few weeks, his father came to him in his dream and said, what's with me? I'm not your father? You're only thinking about your mother? What's with me? He didn't know what to do. He ran to the rabbi. I said to the rabbi, what is this? He's very upset with me. In a dream. He told him, start saying Shana Kaddish for him. What do you have to lose? Say for him. 3 months after, he came again. I'm much better, but don't stop. We have many dreams. We have many dreams that I've seen in my life that mamash were critical. One time my mother came to me. It was also more than 10 years ago. And she telling me a story. My parents has a couple of friends in Israel that they literally grew up with. Since they got married as a young couples, for 40 years they're friends already. You know, it's like sometimes your friends become a part of your family. I remember growing next to these people every week, seeing them in my house. This poor couple, they had a granddaughter, 1 out of 9 babies in the world that do not grow at all. She can't grow. You need surgeries and another surgery to move the bones. And everybody knows that it's just a matter of time. Everybody knows that it's just a matter of time until she will die. So the doctors are putting all their effort just to extend her life. They know it's just a matter of time. Another 2 months, another 6 months. Anyway, she'll die. Because how many years we will be able to move her bones and extend it? And it's very complicated. The poor girl almost every week had surgeries. Baby, lo alenu. So my mother is telling me now the story that they have a granddaughter like this. We continue to talk. Then my mother tell me, you know what, something strange? One day I had a dream that my friend's mother, an old woman that I barely knew. How many times I saw her in my life? 4 or 5 times in parties or in weddings. That's it. She came to me in a dream and she said, Miriam, I'm starving. Miriam, I'm starving. So my mother said, what do you mean you're starving? He said, the nurses starving me. They're not letting me eat. The nurse in the hospital, the nurse. And then she said to her, tell my daughter, I don't want to say her name, that I'm not angry at her like she thinks. All her problems in life is not because of me, it's from Hashem. I begged Hashem not to do it to her. But it's not because of me. She's upset. She thinks it's because of me, but it's not because of me. And I'm starving. The nurses are... So I'm saying to myself, what is this dream? Starving nurse? She wasn't even in hospital. She's a dead woman. So I said to my mother, I think I understand what's going on here. Please check what happened to the baby that she born like this. Maybe the cord that she received her food got disconnected. So my mother said, of course, that's what happened. That's what they said. 3 or 4 days or 2 days, I don't remember the details, before the baby was born, the cord got disconnected. Somehow they moved there, the nurse, I don't know what really happened. Because of that, she did not receive what she needed, and she had a brain damage. And the woman came to my mother to tell her that she's starving before the baby was born. Mamash, moments before she's... So the mother is reincarnated in a granddaughter. As the Arizal writes. The children, you have children, and your children could have been your parents. If you watch my lecture, Life After Life, I show over there a guy from Colorado, 1.5 years old. When the mother is Oriental American and the father is an American guy. And one time the father comes to change the diapers to his baby, 1.5 years old baby. And when he's changing his diaper, he say, Dad, when I was your age, I used to change your diapers. The little baby tells him. The father, how can a little kid like this, I'm changing his diaper, he's telling me such a thing. Then, after a while, he brought a picture of the family. And the boy comes and he sees a picture of the grandpa. It's a little kid. He said, here it's me. And they investigated that. And they found out, after investigating the boy, that this boy used to be the father of his father. The grandfather came back to be the son of his son. It's very interesting. If sometimes your children giving you a hard time, maybe it's one of the parents that we gave them hard time. Now they came back. Midah keneged midah. Hashem yirachem. The whole thing of Gilgulim, it's a different subject. I didn't come to speak about reincarnations here. If you want, watch that lecture. It's very interesting. It's people who remember their previous life in details. They investigate them. They ask them tricky questions. And they answer all the things to show that thing. I will finish with one more story. One time, my wife comes to me and says, I made an appointment to a specialist in Westchester. We have to take our son Aaron to a specialist. I said to her, why specialist? She said, don't you see what's going on here? He's 3 years old, he doesn't say one word. All the other kids, 1.5 years old, they already speak fluently almost. He doesn't say one word, not a sentence, one word. Abba, mommy, nothing. Yet whatever you say, he doesn't repeat. Something is not right here. I told her, you're rushing, you're jumping to conclusion, no. In the end, when the wife wants to do something, what's the husband can do? All he has to do is to read Tehillim, maybe she changed her mind. In the end, we went to this specialist. He makes the boy play Lego, do this, whatever they do over there. Then after a few more weeks, still not a word. He doesn't talk anything. One morning, my wife comes to me, wow, what a dream I had. I say, what? What happened? She said, go quickly check the mezuzah in Aaron's room. I said to her, there's nothing to check. These mezuzot are extremely meudarot, from the best sofrim, with computer and another sofer. Many years I sold mezuzot, Baruch Hashem, never saw one pasul. There's nothing to check, don't waste time. Chalomot shav yedaberu. She tells me, what do you have to lose? Go upstairs, check the mezuzah. Half an hour. No, I want to open it now. In the end, I have no choice. I get a screwdriver, I open it from the bottom. I'm trying to take a tweezer to pull the cloth out. Nothing comes out. I look inside. I say, there's no cloth. No mezuzah. When we put the mezuzot, we put the klafim in the cases. One we skipped. We put it empty. Right away I went, I got mezuzah, I put it in. The next day, not a week after, the teacher called from the school. What happened? He speaks already words. I never saw in my life such a thing. The power of the mezuzah. I did not invent this. The Torah speaks about the power of mezuzah is life and death. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi got a beautiful jewel from the Roman Caesar, some kind of diamond or big expensive stone. Something amazing. He sent him a mezuzah. The guy see the mezuzah, it looks like I remember when I used to be in business, when I got my room in the office, so I put the mezuzah, so one black guy passed by and said, hey, can you get me one of these cigars? Not a joke. Cigar. Well, a fool. Who puts a cigar on the door? Speaking about mezuzah, I had a friend, his name is Meir. He used to own vegetable markets in Manhattan. He put the place, he opens it up, he makes it run a year or two, and he sells it for a lot of money. Very, very talented in the vegetable markets. So one time he made up in 77th Avenue and 2nd Avenue. 77th Street and 2nd Avenue, there's a beautiful store full of vegetables. He opened it, and he sold it to a Chinese guy. So he called me after 2 or 3 weeks, after the Chinese already moved in, and he said to me, oh, you know what, I forgot to take the mezuzot. Can you pass by on the way and take the mezuzot out of there? Take them, I don't have what to do with them. I said to him, okay, on the way I'm going to pass there. I come to the place. I see the Chinese guy looks at me. I said to him, hi, I came to take this. He said, what? I said, this, the mezuzot, it belongs to the synagogue. I see him like this. I said, no, why? I'm also religious, he said. Chinese guy. I said to him, no, I'm sorry, I have to take it back. I gave it to Mike, Meir. I gave it to him, but it doesn't belong to him. I got to take it. He said, no, I pay. He takes a bunch of money like this. How much? I said, no, I got to take. No, please, nothing else. I said, I got to take it. Right away, I saw him running to the basement. I took the first mezuzah, then there's another mezuzah on the way down to the basement. When I went down to the basement, there's an office over there. I come to take the third mezuzah, it's gone. So where is this mezuzah? I said, I don't know. The guy, he understands mezuzah. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasi sent mezuzah to the Roman. The Roman didn't understand what mezuzah is. He thought it's a joke. He said, I'm sending you millions of dollars. You sending me this piece of paper? What is this? He told him, you send me something that now, from now on, all day I have to worry about it, put guards on it, watch it, worry what's going to be with that. I send you something that watch over you. You don't have to worry anymore. Now you have a special guard over here. You understand? That's mezuzah. Many times you saw people with heart problems, you open the mezuzah, the word levavchem is erased. Problems with kids, problems in the world benechem. There's relation between what's written not correct or erased to the problems in the life of a person. Used to be in an old generation rabbis that used to look in a mezuzah and can tell you all the problems you have in your life based on your mezuzah. You know? And that's a specialty because this is already Kabbalah and other things. Rav Mordechai Sharabi was a very big Mekubal in Eretz Israel. We finish with this, and then if you have questions. Rav Mordechai Sharabi, after the Shiva, when he passed away, they called the Chevrat Eged, the buses in Israel. They wanted to get a dedicated bus for all the people who wants to go to his grave. 7 days after he's passed away. Chevrat Eged said, we're very sorry, we don't have extra buses and we don't have extra drivers right now. We cannot give you a bus. Please manage in a different way. 10 minutes later, when the rabbi is thinking what to do, they got a phone call from Eged, say, we're very sorry, we have a bus for you. It's on the way. They see a guy comes, a religious guy, comes in. He said, what happened? First they say there's no bus. All of a sudden, 10 minutes later, there's a bus and it's already on the way. He said, well, I don't want to take credit, but I made a big mess over there and they agreed to give a bus. So he said, why do you care so much? So he started to say that I was married to a woman and she became pregnant 6 times, and each one of them ended with a miscarriage. 6 times. And she died. That's it. And the 6th time she died and never had kids with her. I went to Rav Mordechai Sharabi. He told me the reason to all your problems was the mezuzot in your house none of them are kosher. Without being in a house, mamash biruach hakodesh. You have to check all them. You have to replace all the mezuzot. He went, took all the mezuzot out. He went to buy good mezuzot. He put good mezuzot in a house. And the mezuzot that he took off, he checked, all of them was pasul, as he said. All of them completely pasul. Then he got remarried. And after he got remarried, his wife became pregnant. Oh, again miscarriage, the second wife. Right away he runs to the Rav. He said, Rabbi, what now? Okay, I changed all the mezuzot. He said, there is one more problem in one mezuzah, but I can't see which door. There's one more problem in one mezuzah. I cannot tell you which door, but I'm telling you there's one more problem. You got to replace that mezuzah, and then you'll have a boy. And the driver is telling them now the story in the yeshiva of Rav Mordechai Sharabi. He called up a rabbi from the yeshiva over there. The rabbi came and checked all the mezuzot. What happened? In one place, there was no mezuzah b'chlal. Nothing, not even a case. They skipped one door. In one door, the always, you needed mezuzah. They took mezuzah. 9 months later, she had a baby boy. And then after that, she had many kids. With this. He said, after what this tzaddik did for me, I heard he needs a bus for his shiva. I'm not going to run and make a problem here in a company. But this was the power of the Chachamim. Someone who was learning by him told me that when he used to teach Gemara, he didn't have the Gemara in his hand. He knew the whole page by heart. They read from the Gemara, all the students, and he was sitting and a whole Gemara by heart. He came to the shiur, an old person, Yemenite, come like this, sit. The whole Gemara, it's difficult. It's not a page in a newspaper that you read 5-10 times and you know what is it about. It's very complicated. And he knew everything. Okay, we finished for today. If you have questions about dreams and everything, now it's the time. Yeah.
Is there anything you can do to dream of a dead person?
Is there anything?
Like when a person passed away, you want to see them in a dream.
You can only pray to Hashem that you have the zchut to speak to someone in a dream. But, it's not as you request. It can happen, it cannot happen, but I do not know of any way to bring a specific dead person in a dream.
Is it true that they said that dead person doesn't come to your dream, that means it's good?
Depends. If he comes to give something, we just saw that it's a good thing. So it's not necessarily, it can come and do something good, or it can come to say something bad, God forbid. So it's not, we cannot say. Okay, any more questions? Yeah.
What is significant of dreaming a lot about dead people?
In general, a lot of bad dreams, it's a sign that Hashem loves you. It takes away all your...
About dead people in dreams.
About dead people?
A lot of...
that you know?
Yeah.
Dead people that you know. I have a woman not far from here that she was married in real estate with her husband, and her husband passed away, and before they passed away, they got divorced. And the last time when they got divorced, they had one house that they were partnering in. And he died before he got his share. 7 years after his death, she used to come down those days to my lecture, and she comes to me and says, I don't know what to do. Every week, 2 to 3 times, he come to me in a dream, screaming and arguing with me about the house, that I stole his share. That's all he cares about. Every week, 2 to 3 times, he screams in a dream, you're a thief, you stole my half. Why dead people come that you hardly knows? I don't know to answer this. We don't know. Yes?
What about fire in a dream? Is there any meaning for fire?
Fire, I did not see in learning about dreams, I did not see anything about fire. Maybe I have to double check. I didn't see anything, so I don't want to just say.
What about water?
Water is always good. If you see kids fall into the water, that means they're going to be Talmidei Chachamim. Water is shefa. Water is always good. Flying? Maybe you used to be a bird in your previous life. Yeah.
What about dollar in a dream? Dollar in a dream.
Dollar? Dollar, it's Amalek. Gematria Amalek. Yes.
You see that person in a
candlelight on it.
Yes, that's our custom, to put a ner neshama for a person, yes.
Dream about the Rav Melubavitch Shabbat Boboker.
Okay, now he reminded me one very important thing. One more minute, please. If you see a very holy rabbi, such as Ben Ishchai, Baba Sali, or any other rabbi that everybody knows is holy, don't run and dance and think that you are Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that the Baba Sali come to you, not to your friend. Why? The Zohar and the Arizal explain that there are demons who they call Yehudaim, Jews, that's their name. And they come, the same thing I told you about angels that come like women in a dream, they come with the image of a big Chacham. Rav Yehuda Ftaya was a Talmid of the Ben Ishchai, he wrote a Sefer. In his time there was a student who come to him and say to him that one of the prophets, somebody, I don't know, one of the big Chachamim comes to give him information. And all the Chachamim were asking him, and they were all convinced that it's the Chacham. Until in the end, Rav Yehuda Ftaya told him, tell me, if you are this Chacham, what's the end of this pasuk? He gave him a pasuk from the Navi, and he didn't know. So he told him, wait. He said, no, I have to go, I'm on a mission, I cannot stay. He said, wait. The 2 minutes that you're arguing with me, all you had to do is tell me 4 words to tell me what's the pasuk, the verse. And he said to the Chachamim, it's all a lie. So if you see the biggest Rav in a dream, whatever he tells you, don't cry and don't smile. You don't know if it was the Rav. Usually it's these shedim, these demons. It's not a reason to make a party. Oh, you know why you make a party? The Rambam came to me in a dream. We're not so worthy that the Rambam will come to us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kvod Harav. Thank you to Yaniv. Thank you to Yaniv and Chazak for another beautiful event. We'll see you again, Bezrat Hashem. Kol Tov.
Thank you very much.